back, and today, happy Memorial Day. Thanks to all the vets out there for your brave service. In today's video, we got a banger, man. This is the best stub making method there is right now. That includes over roster updates. You know, the roster update investments, it's kind of slim pickings right now. There definitely is a few guys, but if I had stubs right now, which I do, and I have been doing this personally, we'll see that in a second, this is the best stub making method there is right now. So show some support on the video by smashing the like button, subscribing, and joining the Discord link down below. Let's get into today's video though. So first thing first, what is the method? It's flipping. Flipping. Now, you must think I'm out of my flipping mind because usually I hate doing it. But I hate doing flipping earlier in the year because of how competitive it is and the margins aren't great. So right now, the margins are good. Let's take a look at a guy like Senga. So what is flipping? You would come in here and you want to put in an order for one stub higher than the current bid. So that would be 32,170. You would come in here, you'd put an order in for 32,170. Once that goes through, you would come back in and you would flip him. You would put him in for one stub less than the current sell order, and you'd make 3.6K stubs just on that one flip. Now I'm gonna cancel this because I can't be asked, but there's a lot of different things you need to be aware of when trying to do this method, right? So I recommend having about 300,000 stubs available. It'll just make your life a lot easier. So have about 300,000 stubs available. It'll make things go a lot smoother. If you're rich, you know, if there's like a B tier investment, a guy like Bryson Stott, just sell him off. Sell off Bryson Stott if you want to be able to try out this method. Not that big of a deal. I don't see him going above quick sell anytime soon. So let's go to my completed orders. I'll show you guys kind of what I was doing first, just to show you the guys that I was doing this method myself. Now we're gonna have to ignore some of these investments, but let's keep going. And now we're at the guys that I was doing this on last night. So you can see the names that I was doing it on. Let's see if we can find some examples. Here we go. I bought Fernando Valenzuela for 8,600 stubs. I then sold him off for about 12,000. That's a 2,000 stub profit, and it took me 30 seconds, it seems like. 30 seconds to make 2,000 stubs. You can see I did this with lots and lots of different guys. We got Ryan Braun being sold at 12,000 and being bought at 8.5K. We got Marcelo Meyer being bought at 38,000, and then I'm not sure where he was sold, but I'm sure he was sold at some point for a profit. So really, I mean, this was a very, very good method yesterday. I'm gonna keep looking to see if we have any more examples on the same page so it's easier to see. Brooks Lee bought for 14.7K and sold for 21. That's like 4,000 stub flip right there. And you can see I did it over and over and over again. Matt Chapman bought for less than 12,000, and then Matt Chapman sold for a little over 15,000. Now there is a 10% tax, which is pretty tedious, but it's definitely worth it. Miguel Sano bought for 28.5, and I swear I just saw Miguel Sano somewhere. It looks like I bought him again, and the flip sold for 34,000. I mean, listen, I probably made 40,000 stubs just doing this method for 15 minutes. And I know a lot of people, a lot of members in the Discord who I've been telling, do flipping right now. They've been making, like, somebody made 400,000 stubs in just a couple hours. So this method is hot. So what do you want to do? So look at these guys. First off, the first thing you have to do, I recommend doing this basically all of it on the app, the companion app. It'll just make your life easier. So on the app, you would find a guy like Josh Jung. This is not a good name for me, man. Josh Jung. Let's just ignore the pronunciation. So right now, his margins look good, but if I actually just update, somebody just outbid by a lot, so we're going to find somebody else. Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta has decent margins. I personally wouldn't do a flip like this, but just for the sake of this video, we'll do Jake Arrieta. So you see that there's good margins. What does that mean? You got to do some basic math. You would be able to buy him for 32,004. You can check what you would get after selling by doing this, and just theoretically. All right, so you would make 1,700 stubs on a flip like this. Now, personally, the reason I wouldn't do this is because 1.7K, that's not really a good enough margin on a guy that's 40,000 stubs. So, you get outbid, and now just like that, the margins are gone. Not really worth it. Garrett Cole is, something I would be doing right now because look at this margins. You would be able to buy him for 41,000, and then once you sell him, he is expensive, but you make over 4,000 stubs just on one flip, and that's kind of why he's expensive. So if I look up Garrett Cole on the app right now, the thing you need to look at next, once you find somebody that has good margins, you got to make sure that they are being bought and sold frequently. If I look at his completed orders, it'll tell you what time somebody bought him, what time somebody sold him. When I look at this, I see that in the last 15 minutes, he's been sold, like he's been bought or sold like 15 times. So if you're seeing somebody that isn't being bought or sold at least like once every minute, then that's not a guy you're going to want to put in these orders for. But Garrett Cole passes that test. So what I would do is I would come in here and I would put in a buy order for 41,161. And then I would go to the next guy. Go to the next guy. These guys are all a little bit pricey. Lars Nootbaar, for example. Lars Nootbaar has good margins. You would come in here, 34,267. Check out how much you would make. You'd make 2.8K on that one flip. So now you got to go to the app. You go to the app and you see if he passes the next test. Let's check his completed orders. Lars Nootbaar. He's been bought. So right now it's 11:14 a.m. He was bought at 11:14, 8:10, 8:09, 8:08, 8:06. So not necessarily once every minute, but he is still being bought or sold pretty frequently. So I would come in here and put in another buy order. Next, keep going. You find more and more players, right? P. Carl Armstrong, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. I even would recommend looking at some of these 95s, 97 overalls. It doesn't matter what their overall is or their price, as long as they have good margins and are being bought and sold frequently, then this is a really good method. I got like Jorge Soler. Look at this. The margins here are crazy, but I can almost guarantee you that this was not a good try to do this, right? Look, you'd make over 6,000 stubs, but if I go on the app right now and I look up Jorge, let's see how often he's being bought or sold. So, I mean, look, in the last 40 minutes, 3, 6, 9. In the last 40 minutes, he's only been bought or sold 9 times. That is not great movement. That means if you get outbid once, then you're kind of cooked and you're not really going to recognize it. Also, even if you're the highest order, somebody's probably not going to sell it to you because it takes a while for him to be bought or sold once. So find guys that are being bought or sold frequently, and that's what you want to do. So what do you want to do? You obviously, you can tell that I haven't got any orders to go through, and that's probably just, look, I got outbid by 1 stub. So what I would do is there's probably like, you'll be able to go through a pass, right? Do this on the app, look at every guy that has good margins, see if they're good or not, put in the buy order. When you do that, you'll probably be able to find about 15 guys that are being bought or sold frequently that have good margins. Put in the orders, and then by the time you put in all 15 of those orders, at least a couple of them will have went through. When that happens, go in and put the sell orders in. And then the ones that didn't go through, you can go to your active orders. This is where it's easier on the console. You can go to your active orders and you can come in here and just cancel them. Because canceling orders on the console is a lot easier than on the app. So, it's easiest to have a kind of a joint setup, but that's how you want to do this method. You want to rinse and repeat. Put in the 15 orders, a couple of them will have went through, put in the sell orders. And then you cancel the remaining buy orders and do another pass. I would give the buy orders at least like 6 or 7 minutes before canceling them. Don't be too impatient. But yeah, that's the stub making method. You'll make tons of stubs doing that right now. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, join the Discord link down below. Members are already doing this. Peace out. Thanks for watching.